All right. Welcome to the Roundball podcast. I really wish we could show you what happens behind the scenes to get this started. You think it's like, oh, just press a button, you'll be good. We got a clown car of guys just pressing record, trying to figure out Wi-Fi on the road. They're going to corn mazes and shit. It makes no sense. But hey, Roundball is back for a second season. Myself, Jordan Bohannon, Hunter Dickinson in new threads. How we doing, boys?
Fellas, how's it going? How's it going?
I'm just excited to see Hunter because he just looks so happy right now.
I know it's really nice to see. You see, he's wearing his Kansas gear. How first? Just tell us right away, Hunter. Kansas, how's it feel? You're number one in the country.
I mean, it's been fun. Even in the summer, it's been a great transition. A little weird, like I don't know, it's just weird. Like being out of school for 3 years and then leaving. But um, I've loved it so far. Playing for Coach Self's been a ton of fun. And the team, obviously, I mean, you said preseason number one. We got some high expectations, but I think that comes with every Kansas team. So
What's more boring, Kansas or Michigan? Because everyone says the flyover state for each of them. So,
Um, I wouldn't say either one is boring.
ooh, that
I'd
was a
say,
trick
Okay, so
question.
the
yeah, I'd
Kansas
say both are
Kansas
fun.
has this boy whipped into shape of his social media training. Look at him. Our boy is growing up. Usually he'd be like, "Fuck Michigan" or "Fuck Kansas."
You got to grow up
um,
at some point.
no, you grown. Well, you did go viral.
Well,
We don't have to talk
Yeah,
about
I
it.
know, I know, I know, I
We
know.
don't have to talk about it. You went viral. I think that you're just excited. I saw that. I'm like, that's my guy. He's excited. You're number one. You're at a school where is it weird though? Because obviously Michigan's football focused. We could all say that. We all know that Kansas is basketball focused, even though your football team's actually pretty good now. But it's still Kansas basketball. Is it weird where like are you getting more attention there even like just walking around?
Yeah, it definitely is different. Just because it's like the level of investment and like intensity, I'd say, for like Kansas basketball. I mean, like you said, Kansas football, they're doing their thing now. They got a big game coming up versus Oklahoma. If they win that, the city will be jumping for sure.
People
Like,
be talking.
yeah, but yeah, like just the investment, like it's just like whoever you see, it'll be like random people, and they're just like so invested, and they're like, man, come like bring us a chip, man, bring us a chip. Like it'll be like the Amazon guy or just like random people around Lawrence, and but it's fun because it just shows you, like I said, the level of investment that the whole city has in the program because people really live for to watch Kansas basketball, and so it makes for a great environment, and that's the reason why our home games are so crazy.
you guys exhibition coming up?
Yeah, on Sunday, it'll be yeah, I can't wait for that.
Who?
Illinois,
Oh wow, I
Is
didn't
it
know
at
that.
Illinois?
yeah, Illinois.
Oh my god, you can't get away.
It's on. I thought it was on ESPN, but somebody said it was on Big Ten Plus, so I'm not sure.
How do
But
you think you'll
there'll
be
be fans there.
received in Illinois?
There will be fans there, so that'll be fun. I can't wait. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun game. Like it's for charity, so it's for a good cause. You know what I'm saying? It's a good cause.
Yeah, I'm sure Illinois is gonna know it's for a good cause and not talk shit to you.
Oh no, well I mean that's what will make it. You got to
So you
bring
have to
some level
go
of
even exhibition. You have to go to Illinois and Indiana this year.
yeah, yeah.
You're
It's
too.
fun though. I enjoy it. Like it'll be fun. Like it'll be good atmospheres, and I do I will miss playing in the Big Ten. So being able to play two, possibly three Big Ten schools will be fun.
I'm just excited to see your progress because looking back on my career, like I was there for fucking 12 years, so I know what the Big Ten's like. But you have the ability right now that you're able to see a different conference, and not a lot of people in college basketball can say that. So I don't know. I'm excited just to see what you say throughout the season about like traveling to West Virginia or traveling to go and play Iowa State.
Iowa State, yeah.
Yeah, like that's just cool just to be able to experience those different atmospheres alone.
Getting a new rivalry as well, like Kansas State is going to be like supposedly that game's fucking insane at Kansas.
Yeah, no, I'd say it's tough because it's like, you have your rivalries for the 3 years at Michigan, and it's like, they're pretty ingrained into you. Like obviously, like the Michigan State one, like that one, I think that one will last forever for me. But like the new ones with Kansas State and then even Missouri, honestly, like obviously Kansas State's a rival, but I think like for a lot of people here in Lawrence, Missouri is probably even more of a rival, and that goes back like years.
Do people in Kansas say Missouri's the real Kansas?
Well,
because Kansas City is in Missouri, and like that's crazy.
But there are like Kansas City's so like on the border that I think there are some parts of Kansas City that are in Kansas, if I'm not mistaken. If I heard that.
So
right.
have you seen Taylor Swift yet, or what?
No, actually, the football game. There was a Thursday night game, the Broncos game that I think she went to, and I was gonna go, but I was sick. I was sick for like a week, and so I wasn't able to go.
Damn.
Are you a fan of Taylor Swift?
Not. I mean, I know a couple songs. I wouldn't say like I'm, a huge fan. Not like some of her audience, but I got a couple songs.
I just not to get off topic here, Marty. I just think it's crazy how much publicity this whole Taylor Swift thing's getting.
Yeah, I didn't know she was like. I knew she was famous. I didn't know she was that famous, honestly.
Oh, she's the famous person in the world. She's probably the most famous person in America, at least. That's
low
just
key. But I mean, like you also got to think Beyonce too. Like I went to Beyonce's concert at Kansas City.
Oh, you were probably throwing ass at that concert.
You're part of the Beehive?
No, I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest Beyonce fan, but the performance was really good.
You answering that so he's media trained for fucking everything, Jordan. Probably, no, not necessarily, but
I just looked it up. I will say Beyonce or Taylor Swift has 274 million followers. Doesn't follow anybody, not even Travis. But Beyonce has 318. And
I just think right now.
That's a real woman right there. Real woman.
I just think right now, I can't believe we're talking about Taylor Swift on the Roundball podcast. That's how you know. That's how you know that.
The talk of the town here, Marty.
Talk of the town.
Everybody's there about Travis and Taylor.
I'm a Travis Kelce fan as well. One of the worst dating shows of all time ever, but it was such a funny show back in the day.
Yeah.
Catch Kelce, it was fantastic. But back to basketball. So how's your teammates? I need you to tell DeJuan Harris I might have talked shit about him at one point because I was so mad at Kansas, and I was like, oh, he's not a good point guard. He's a very good point guard. My favorite person on your team, even over you, is KJ Adams. Bro, that man might be playing the wrong sport. He should be playing tight end. He's playing tight end on the football team. And he jumps out of the gym.
Oh my God. No.
What's his vert?
I don't think I've ever played with an athlete just with the, like you said, like the build too and everything. Like who was I just talking to like 2 days ago? And I was saying basically like if KJ played middle linebacker, he'd be like the next like Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
Like he's like 6, but he's like 6'7"
on the field.
Okay.
Like he's like 6'7", like 2, I don't even know, like 30 maybe, something like that. Fast. Like you got to see his calves. He's got the biggest calves I've ever seen.
What are you, Johnny Drama?
Why
are you looking at his calves?
His calves. I mean, he's got big calves.
I respect a good calf. I honestly do. I respect a good calf.
Because that's that a lot of that goes into genetics too. So you got to like, but regardless of that, like the team is. It's just crazy. I keep saying this to people, like how quickly we've all kind of gelled together off the court, being as like we have 4 returners, 3 of them starters, and then the rest is basically new guys. And then we got a couple new walk-ons, a couple old walk-ons, but a relatively new team. And it feels like we've known each other for a while. I think living, at McCarthy Hall, where we all live, helps a lot because you're rooming with guys, and then you go across the hall and there's guys, and then down the hall, there's more of your teammates, and so I think that kind of helps a lot because you're able just to really hang out with them kind of whenever you're bored or something like that. But the team camaraderie is really high. I think that kind of helps us on the court too because we're pretty good playing together. We still have a lot of more room to grow, especially with some of the younger guys. I think they're still finding their way, but the jumps they've made from summer to now are crazy. But this is definitely just a high IQ team, starting with DeJuan Harris. He's different, like you said, Marty. He's a damn good point guard, and he should be. What's it? The Bob Cousy Award. He
Yeah,
should be one of. He should be at the end
Yeah.
at the end of that run, and he should be in the mix for
Where
that.
does he wear a headband at practice too?
Yeah,
I like
Oh,
that.
that was a crazy question.
What?
I said for like Halloween, if if we all dress up, because I don't think we will be able to, but like just on Halloween night, he should just go around with the headband on.
Yeah, I feel like if he didn't wear the headband, I'd call him a fraud.
Yeah, no, he wears the headband for practice. So
What were you last Halloween? And do you remember, Marty?
It was a bad costume.
I was Santa Claus.
Yes,
Yeah.
Santa.
Yeah.
I was
Idiotic.
Santa Claus.
Crazy.
That was a good costume. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is it weird in practice where it's like you're not like technically the main guy in every play? You know what I mean? Like it's like, are you playing more of a big man role this year? Or are you still going to be popping out taking threes? Is Bill Self? What's the difference of Self and what's his name?
Juwan?
Jawan.
I wouldn't say I'm playing more of a big man role because we have KJ Adams, he played the 5 last year, and so he's got some skill down low, and I think this year he'll definitely have a lot of mismatches. So we're trying to utilize him in that way too, where he'll be able to take advantage of smaller guys guarding him in the post. I think I'm moving around a lot. Sometimes I might even catch myself on the perimeter a little bit too much, just kind of just flowing out there, and I got to kind of remind myself of what I do best. But I think I'll be moved around a lot this year offensively. I think you'll see me, on the top of the key, around the elbows a lot, obviously down low. But I think I'll be moving around a lot, not kind of just being that big man in the paint, but I think I'll be utilized a lot. Whether that's a scorer, a ball mover, a playmaker, I think I'll be in the mix in a lot of different areas.
Offensively, is Self changing his like play calls or schemes for you, or is he just sticking with what they normally do?
It's kind of hard because I think some of the plays are old plays that they ran last year, but then I think we do have the mix of some newer plays, and then also a mix of plays that they ran back in the day as well, before back with like Cole Aldridge and all of them.
Is it kind of crazy? Like, obviously, Jawan was a great coach for you, but like now you're playing for like a legend of college basketball. Like his name is going to be, it's like in the top of like Coach K and the Izzo, other coaches in college basketball. Is it crazy though? Sometimes you're playing for Coach Self.
Yeah, no, I definitely. I've been really fortunate. I always think about this, being really fortunate, just playing for great coaches throughout my career. I can say that even like from AAU basketball to high school to now to at Michigan, and then now at Kansas, I feel like I've just had great coaches, and I think I've done that on purpose. Just having older brothers that play the game, knowing how much a coach can influence and help you or deter you. Like having a bad head coach can really stunt your growth and kind of just make basketball not fun. And so that's why I had so much fun at Michigan, and I feel like I grew so much was because I had a great head coach. And now at Kansas, having Coach Self, it is like I do think about it. Like sometimes when we start off practice, we do some like just light dribbling, kind of just getting the body loose, and I'll really think about like, damn, like he is like a Hall of Fame head coach. Like I was listening to somebody talking about like, yeah, like he is probably. I think if you were to do a poll, a lot of people would probably rank him like the best head coach in college now, especially since, like you said, a lot of them
I'd
have
say
left.
right now, yeah.
But I mean, he's got 2 championships, a couple Final Fours, and we're going to try to hopefully add to that this year. But I mean, he is a Hall of Fame head coach, and so um, being able to play for him is a unique experience because not a lot of people get to play for you know a coach like him, and I've definitely learned a lot, and he knows how to push me for sure.
Has it kind of opened your eyes, like going to Kansas now and realizing? I mean, because I saw this kind of too when I was taking a couple visits and watching practices and stuff. There's really not much of a difference between schools, like work wise. You know what I'm saying? Like it comes down to such little details in between the work and in between the preparation that really makes a Kansas or makes a Michigan a Michigan. And that's something I realized my own. So I was curious how you saw it now that you went from Michigan to Kansas and are actually experiencing it firsthand.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like both, like wherever you go for high Division 1 basketball, you're going to work hard. Like it's going to be like the practices are going to be super intense. The coaches are going to demand a lot of you. I do think it is like just minor changes. Like some things are universal. Like I'm pretty sure every coach in America runs a shell drill, like it's some sort of shell drill. Every coach in America does some type of 5-on-5 transition drill, some type of uneven number of transition drill where it's might be like a 5-on-3 or a 3-on-2, something like that, where they're just working on different things. There's some drills that are universal, but there are some minor differences that do make it unique for every school. Um, I'd say just it is fun to go to like a new school and kind of experience that because not that it gets like boring or like repetitive at a school, but like it is just fun just to go to a new school and kind of do different things because it made me feel like a freshman over again, like going to a new school, having that like transition where it's like you don't kind of know what you're doing for a little bit,
Oh,
and
that's
so
a great feeling. That's when you're it's like going to class for the first day and first you love the first day of school because 'cause you're like, "Ooh, who's gonna be in my classes?" And then the second day, like, "Oof, this sucks." But still, it's like you're still like, "That's school." But for you, it's probably fucking amazing. It's like getting that, like, love for, basketball again. Because sometimes you come into Jordan, you probably a little repetitive, like, you fucking played for 6 years. It's like, "Alright, I know everything like the back of my hand at Iowa," right?
Oh yeah, I mean that's why I was curious about Hustler because that change up. I mean, that probably revitalized your love for the game of basketball even more.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
yeah, I wouldn't I wouldn't say like revitalized because I don't think I ever lost it, but it definitely like it was this was a super fun summer for me because of just all the new things and the nuances, playing with a new team, playing for a new coach, playing with a new system, doing new things. It was a ton of fun for me, and I did have like a great summer just learning new things. Like it definitely like made like the basketball during the summer was a ton of fun for me.
Don't you kinda like because you, like, wanna show your teammates in Michigan all knew how you were. You were the best player on the team. Here, it's like you kinda have to show yourself again. Wasn't that kind of fun?
Yeah, I think when I some of the shots I hit that like I kind of like I wasn't too like some shots that I just hit normally. Some of the guys were like how did you hit that? Like because like I feel like I can make some tough shots, especially in the post with my left hand, and so like I think that took them a little off guard because I don't think they've ever like played with a big man that could make like some pretty difficult shots. But I think sometimes I can make them look a little bit easy, but No, yeah, I definitely like think I was showing my skills. Like I had to show 'em my skill set a little bit and
Yeah.
let them kind of know what kind of player I am.
This is just so cute. I just love hearing this right now.
I love it. It's great. It's like we sent our little kid off to school, a new school. He's making friends.
I
His
know.
coach
I'm
loves
writing
him.
back to you guys.
Yeah, he's writing back to us. It's so funny.
He is. He is. No, he like he he is. He's like whatever. Even if he's like yelling at you, even if he's like at the most mad, he'll usually like even end one of those with like a joke or something like that, and nobody will laugh because it's like you just got yelled at for a while, and like you don't want to laugh because it's like you don't know how, but like he'll get mad at you for not laughing at it because he'll think it's funny, and usually they are kind of funny. He does have some good jokes. I think that's like one thing on my visit that I realized. Like a lot of the assistants have like pretty good one-liners too, and I didn't know if that was going to be like if that was just for the visit or if that's really how they are. And like I can say like they do try to, you know, keep it light, especially like before practice and stuff like that. Um, getting guys to, laugh a little bit, not take it so seriously, bring up the mood before practice.
Well, you kind of have to, especially at a school like Kansas. There's so much expectations and pressure on you guys that, I mean, you're probably experiencing. If he kept it like being a hard ass 24/7, I don't think anyone would last at Kansas.
Yeah. And I think like he does a really good job of, just like checking in on people. Um, all the coaches do that too. Like, do a really good job of really caring about one another. Like it was it's a cool thing to see, especially coming from Michigan, where Jawan did the same thing. He was really good with making like even the walk-ons. Jawan would do a great job of just checking in on people and really like caring about other people's lives. And Coach Self does the same thing. So it's like it's real cool to see, And I think again, it goes back to like me picking a coach. Like I feel like that's something that I really value is like a coach that really cares about his players. Because there's some coaches where you'll hear stories about coaches like practice starts at 3, they come in at 2:30 in their office, and then after practice, they just like go straight home. Like they don't have any relationship with anybody, and usually those coaches don't last very long in college. But like those are coaches you really don't want to play for. I feel like at Iowa, you probably had a really good relationship with Fran because he's a really cool, really good guy, and so I think that really helps like you as a player.
Are you like I'm like so excited for you because you're a sicko in the way where like any when
Mm.
the crowd is going nuts, you literally play better. And Kansas is gonna be insane for you because you've not like Michigan. I went to the Michigan game. You get a huge crowd, but I feel like it's a different animal at Kansas and these Dukes and all this stuff. Like are and also the expectations are way bigger. Like if you lose
Yeah,
a game, it's like they think your season's over.
yeah.
I can't wait for that. I can literally I'm so excited that you're gonna lose in the national championship this year, which will be fine to Duke, but it'll be like my Super Bowl. I'll be like,
That
oh
would be a great. I think everybody would love to root for that championship.
yeah, this is my favorite year of college basketball ever. I got the number one and two team.
Hunter,
Who's
I don't
better
think
than me?
Hunter, we interviewed Ryan Young, and he was bricked up 24/7 during the interview. So
Hey,
I can only
I am
imagine
an
what that
in
was like.
I talk to Duke now that I'm like I'm trying to go. I will paint my body as a Cameron Crazy. I don't care.
No, Ryan Young, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he would piece you up and down low.
We played against each other back in Northwestern.
Oh yeah, yeah, he did.
He's a good guy.
Marty
He's a
forgets.
good
Marty's
man.
not good
Good
with
man,
history.
Ryan Young.
No, I don't like history. I'm a present guy. It already happened. Why you gotta tell me what happened? You know? We'll get you out of here soon. What else is going on? How's life? How you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm like you said, I'm excited for this season to start. I can't wait. October, as Jordan knows, is usually like the worst month for a college basketball player because it's like the season is right there, but you still got, a couple weeks before it starts. The practices are the hardest at that time. And so it's just kind of just like you see the finish line, but like you're not there yet. And so now that we're what is it, 4 days? 4 days, yeah, 4 days. 4 days till we play at Illinois and the season really gets going. I'm super excited, man. I'm pumped. Um, I am I am anticipating the game because I want to see, kind of what
Good
our team looks
word.
like. I didn't want to say nervous because it's not nervous, but it's like
It's just like
antsy.
getting the jitters
I
out.
think
Like,
nervous is a good. That's not a bad
Yeah,
feeling.
but yeah, no, like before games, I'd say I'm nervous because I feel like if you're not nervous, you're not prepared like for what you're about to do. Like it's like every game is like a big game for me, and so whenever I'm not nervous, I kind of tend to not play good. Whenever I'm nervous, I tend to
yeah, you
play.
almost focus more.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm nervous. I got a game tonight. I have a big game. My team's 1-0-1, and I got a big. I'm the point guard,
how's
fellas.
the
What?
tie?
Wait, 1-0-1?
How are you
Yeah,
1-0-1?
yeah. They don't play overtime. It's it's just
Not even a sudden death.
no. Can I? I'm gonna send you guys a video. Did I send you the video of me?
You
I
didn't
didn't
take
get
a
it.
charge?
Yeah, but then also, did I show you the block?
I don't
I
know if I
want you to
want to
watch
see
it.
it.
I want to watch the video, and I want your thoughts of my block. There was 8 seconds left. We're up 2. I did block him. I think I might be the best player on this team on this screen now.
How long is this video? Is this a whole
I
documentary?
saw the charge. I saw that.
Well, fast forward a little bit. It's at the end.
Hold up,
Everyone's drenched
you
in
didn't send me
sweat.
anything.
Yeah, there's 8 seconds left in the game.
You didn't send me nothing.
Oh! Damn.
We got to put that video up.
Oh my gosh.
I got Jack.
You didn't? What do you mean, Hunter? You're not in there?
I don't think I got anything.
You're in the group chat.
Oh, sorry.
For our audio
Is
list.
that Dana Beers playing?
Yeah, he's a double machine.
I could see that for sure. Oh, and you got Kremer coaching.
Clemmer's coaching. Yeah.
Oh, Marty, good block.
That was tough.
Even though that was a female you blocked.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was waiting for you guys to figure out that was a girl.
You did block a female shot, but
So they didn't have enough guys or something. I think they just had 2 girls on the team, and let me tell you, these girls were fucking dirty. They were mean down there. They were elbowing, getting off us, and there was 8 seconds left. I said, I'm not letting this shit happen. Wow.
So this
Marty,
game
I
ended in
will
a tie?
say the cardinal sin of a basketball player is to wear shoes that you wear every day on the basketball court.
Yeah, I said I ain't fucking buying new shoes for this fucking league, and I should have because I slip a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense when you're playing with shoes that you wear every day.
That's disgusting. Are
Listen,
you wearing them right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marty, get another pair, man.
That's so foul. No, you're not.
Wear
That
another
is
pair,
so
Marty.
Hunter. That is so foul.
That's what I'm saying. That's one of the cardinal sins of basketball players is, you can never wear like no. It's different if you're playing like outside and you can wear whatever shoes outside as long as they're like relatively decent hooping shoes.
That's some real New York shit right there. If I've
I
ever
am.
seen
I'm starting point guard, and I got the same shoes I wear for the past year. Yeah, tell DeJuan Harris that I'll take him 1-on-1. I don't see his film like this. He ain't blocking no girls. He ain't taking charges like me.
Actually, he does. He does take charges.
Not like me.
But now, have you guys seen the new rules in college basketball with the charges?
I saw that they're not going to call it as much.
It's basically like they said, because nowadays you have to be set before the plant foot hits. Normally it was like before they're in the air. Now it's before that first plant foot hits. So now it's pretty. They basically said it's basically impossible for you to take a charge in the middle of the lane as a secondary defender. It's still possible driving from the wing in the corner. I don't know how that kind of works, but it does. I've seen the video. And so basically, like they said they took 100 charges, and about 97 of them would be blocks nowadays.
Jesus, refs fucking love calling charges.
Yeah, I know. So it's probably a lot of Big Ten refs will be upset with that.
I can name 3 off the top of my head right now.
I can too. It's funny because
you can name him, Jordan. He can't.
Courtney Green, Paul Zelk.
Oh, Courtney Green. I had some words with him at the Wisconsin Rutgers game. I literally was talking to him. I was like, "You are reffing horribly," and then he knew who I was too because he was laughing, but I was like, he was calling crazy calls.
Just crazy.
It's funny because one of our strength interns is he's a Michigan State guy, and so at first there was a little like going on with me, but now we've come to good terms now, and it was funny because I was talking about a ref to somebody because I was like, we're going to play a Big Ten schools, and so we'll probably have Big Ten refs, and like you might not want so and so, and he's like, him? Oh my gosh, we all hated him. And it's just funny how he's like it's funny because at least he was like universally bad. Like at least he wasn't just bad to one school; he was bad all around. And I was like, well, at least
you almost have to respect it when you're that bad,
No.
Yeah, you do.
No.
My intramural ref, he's fucking horrible.
I can only imagine. I feel like that intramural ref is probably getting paid like $12 a game.
And I give it to him because he's so bad. Oh, I'm in his face all game. I hate him so much. All right, well, listen. I'm so happy to see your face. We'll see your face throughout the season, right?
Yeah, no. As long as I honestly, I think as long as I don't say anything too crazy on here, I can probably come back.
No, it was awesome.
I did a great job. You
did a great job. And I try. And for all the fucking Jeff Goodmans out there with the lisps, I didn't say nothing about. I didn't try and get him in trouble. He's fucking a grown man. He's doing great, and he's gonna dominate this year. I can't fucking wait. We're gonna have him on as much as possible. He's not off the show, everybody. Don't worry. Anytime he come on, he's gonna come on. And you got any last words for us? You miss us?
I do miss you guys. Doing this was, it brought back some good memories.
It feels good, honestly. When we all got on the screen and Ciampa was in his clown car, and I'm like, man, the boys are back.
The boys are back, but it's, hopefully the sacrifices that I'm making when will be worth it in the long run.
Well, right now, since you've not played a game, there's not your preseason, like what's the player of the year?
For the Big 12, I was named preseason player of the year.
Weren't you though? Like you, Edie, Filipowski.
Oh, you're talking about
Naismith?
You're talking about Naismith.
You're talking about the AP, right? The AP first team.
Yeah, whatever it is, you're at the top. That's got to feel good, no?
Yeah, I mean it's good, but at this point in my career, I know like how meaningless those awards are. Like anything preseason is really just to try to build up some type of hype for the early season games, like especially for the Champions Classic and stuff like that. Just trying to build up hype, ranking teams.
Who are you playing in that? You playing Kentucky?
Kentucky, yeah.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, especially since I lost to him last year. Definitely want to. And I think last year, I don't know if Kansas won or lost. I can't remember. I
Do you
forget.
have one more year left if you wanted to?
Yeah, I
That's
got another year of eligibility left.
That's crazy.
You should go back to Michigan next year.
Nah, go to Duke next year.
That'd be like,
Now, so my question was, just in case you don't take that next extra year, you get drafted. Just saying, possibilities. Am I invited to the draft?
yeah.
Don't
You're
do this.
already in New York.
No. Don't.
What
No, don't
if
put
he
this.
ever? This is hypothetical.
No.
What?
Don't do it.
Don't do what?
Don't go down this route.
This is me. I'm a selfish prick. I'm a selfish guy.
No, oh, okay, Marty. Whenever I do decide to go, how about that?
Yes, I will be with the family.
Whenever I decide to go,
Me and the fam will hit it off.
you'll be invited.
See?
Only if Champa's there.
Champa, as you said that, I better be with the fam. Hey, well, Hunter, I'm excited for you. I actually very, very am. You're going to be on TV so much that I get to watch all these games now because sometimes Michigan was on weird channels. Big 10. There's not a Big 12 network, is there?
I actually, Marty.
I don't
would
think. I
argue-
think it's just. I think we have ESPN, ESPN Plus.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck. So Michigan was easier.
Some would argue Big Ten has the most like television reach than any conference.
Well, now
As crazy that is, no, it is true. That's just a fact.
ACC?
Yeah,
no, the Big Ten is the Big Ten network.
they have the highest media, or I think the most outreach for media rights, right, Hunter?
I think so. Yeah, I agree. I think
That is true. I could see. I'd watch the Big Ten.
That's just not being biased towards Big Ten. That's just their.
I am a little excited. Like Big Ten for you is like Big Ten is the big man. You know, like there is this big man everywhere. I feel like the Big 12 is a lot of guard play where you'll kind of be able to dummy some people down low.
It is. I am excited to kind of play in the Big 12 because, obviously coming from the Big 10, I got my Big 10 bias, and so I kind of tell them, and they tell me how hard it is and how physical the Big 12 is, and so I feel like, we go back and forth with that, but I am excited to kind of experience that and see, the level of play, because I've heard so much about it throughout the media.
I am excited too to see if it's gonna be cool listening to you like telling the fans what the biggest differences is of each conferences because it's two of the best conferences.
Yeah,
and maybe third best, but still. Like Jordan?
you're just saying that because the ACC and Duke. That's all.
Yeah, the ACC is loaded. Whew. Loaded. Miami, Duke, UNC's gonna be. The fact your boy Baycott's back again. Now I'm sick of seeing him.
He's back?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's back. Next thing you know, Drew Timmy's gonna be playing.
He might be.
I mean, Trace Jackson Davis could have played this year too. He's with the Warriors though.
I know Trace is he's doing good for himself.
Yeah, good for him. You any car washes like Jordan? You doing any weird NILs in Kansas?
Car wash. I don't.
Jordan's NILs are fucking fantastic.
I do want to do something with the car wash because I find myself going to the car wash.
You go to the car wash a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly don't.
You don't. You live in New York. No one has a car. They drive on rats.
Hey, going to New York, I figured out the train system.
Oh yeah, Hunter did just take the wrong way of the subway.
That was my first day. That was my first day there.
He left. He goes, bro. I went the wrong way.
When I first got there, Marty, I was about to get on a train that was going to like New Haven.
I'm not gonna lie though, dude. I'm like, I only know how to get where I'm going. When I have to like figure out how to, I'll just take an Uber because I get scared.
I will say Google Maps definitely helped me out a lot because all you gotta do is put in Google Maps and literally tell you what you get on.
Bro, Jordan would fucking get lost in New York. He'd be a fucking
The
lost.
first time I got there, it was like I had to take like
I've been to New York several times.
Nah.
I had
For
to
like
take like
basketball.
21, and I took like a different 21 that was going to, like I said, New Haven. But I found like a Michigan kid like saw me, and like he was like, "Yo, what's up?" I was like, "Yo, like I'm trying to go here, like on this train." He's like, "Whoa, no, you don't want to go here."
He's like, get the fuck off.
Yeah, so I was like, "Thank God I didn't get on that train."
What, Jordan? You wouldn't get lost?
I'm not saying I wouldn't get lost, but I could find my way around. You have a fucking cell phone. Look it up.
Yeah. All right. When you come here, I'm gonna let you just go in the wild. But hey, can you meet me here? But go on a subway.
Okay. I'm gonna fucking come.
You should come.
Okay.
Kansas doesn't fucking play anywhere over here. It's so stupid.
Yeah, that's the
West
problem.
Virginia. It's a close game.
So far away. It's like 8 hours.
Dude, I remember when we played in the G League last season. I was trying to go over there, and I realized how far fucking Bridgeport was. It wasn't even the same state.
No, it's so far. So far. Hey, maybe come to when Memphis plays the Knicks. Come to New York.
I'm down.
We'll get some tickets.
Okay.
All right. Well, Hunter, we'll see you soon. You play Michigan State. I mean, Kentucky's one of your first games, right?
Yeah, we play because I kind of forgot the schedule, so I had to look it back up. We play Illinois on Sunday. We play Fort Hays State on
That's a tough game.
On Wednesday, and then then I think our first game is the 7th. I think versus North Carolina Central, and then we play Manhattan on the 10th, and then Kentucky on.
You know better than anybody. Don't take Fort Hays lightly. You guys last year lost. What?
Yeah,
who'd you lose to last year?
Fort Hays is an exhibition. Our first.
Yes, don't take them lightly. Who'd you lose to last year? That it was bad.
Central Michigan.
Central Michigan. Yeah. Well, don't take Fort Hays lightly. You tell the boys, all right?
Yeah, no, because I didn't realize if we would have beat Central Michigan, all we needed was one more win, and we would have gotten into the tournament. I didn't realize how bad that hurts you.
It hurts you way worse than losing to literally anybody.
Yeah,
obviously,
a
anybody.
quad 4 loss is the equivalent to 4 quad 1 losses.
Yes. Yeah. No, that was bad. Bad times for the podcast that game.
No, I still tell people to this day, on the team at Kansas, because when we did social media training, it was how to talk to the media after a game, how not to talk to the media after a game, how to what to say before games, stuff like that. And I was they should have just put up me the night before Arizona State for how to not talk. That was.
Do they have any idea about Roundball or no?
Who?
Your teammates?
I don't think so. I don't think they do.
All right. Well, how about we get one of them on with you one day?
That'll be a task because I don't.
What does that mean?
This guy, man, he can't get no one.
No, it's just
when he get his own coach.
Yeah.
He was a busy man.
He left us out to dry that one day.
Oh yeah.
The
one day we were supposed to go on that was a 2-hour film session.
Yeah, big team meeting. All right, that's the. I got a ticket today for going on a train without a ticket. Yep.
They gave you a ticket for that?
Dude, the guy was such an asshole. I was like, you don't even give a shit, do you? You don't give a shit that you're just giving me. He didn't say a word to me. I was like, I didn't know I had to get a ticket for this. I was mad at him.
How much is the ticket?
$74.
Damn.
$74?
Yes, the ticket for the train is $1. I didn't know there was a ticket for this train. It was a different train. It wasn't a subway. It was a light rail, it's called. I was like, oh, I'm going to get on this sucker. And he just went, where's your ticket? I go, what? I know you need to
walk off.
And I walked off the next stop, and he walked off with me and gave me a ticket. Such a piece of shit, this guy. I was like, I'll download it and buy a ticket right now. He's like, no. And I said, you don't give a shit what you're doing. You don't give a shit about my feelings. All right, that's the show. Roundball is officially back, but also, actually, that's not the show. Next up is Ryan Young with an interview with Duke. That's the professionality of our show. All right, see you guys. All right, welcome to a new episode of the Roundball podcast. It is myself and Jordan with a special guest, the best team in the country. That's me saying it. I don't care. The best basketball school. If you play basketball, you should always go to this school, Duke basketball. But it is Ryan Young. How we doing, my guy?
Great. Excited to be here, man. Just excited to talk shop, talk some hoops. New podcaster here, so excited to learn a little bit from you guys as well today.
Yeah, right before you got on, you're like, yeah, a couple, some Big Ten people. Jordan's completely like, he plays golf now, does nothing. He's actually old. You know, we could call him old. But let me tell you, first, right away, biggest difference transferring from Northwestern to Duke. Like, obviously, it's a huge difference. But what was the biggest, like, whoa?
Well, you right off the bat, the level of talent is just different. Obviously, Duke has been, years and years of getting the highest level of recruits. And when I was in the portal trying to figure out where I was going to go, I was having conversations with Shire. I wanted to go to a place where I could help a team win and get to a tournament. I'd never been to a tournament. I'd never been to a postseason. So that was a big deal. And I remember like being there, like trying to figure out when I was in the portal if I could really have an impact here and play. And I was going back and like watching like the high school highlight tapes of Derek Lively and Kyle Filipowski last year. Like I remember feeling so dumb, like watching like YouTube videos of like these kids in high school, like trying to figure out if I could impact it. So the talent level jump was huge. The other thing is just the expectation. I feel like, Marty, you know it as a fan, but every year the goal is to hang another banner. And I had never felt that kind of pressure at Northwestern. We were always, and Jordan, I'm sure you remember it, you guys were in a safer spot than we were always in the Big Ten, but our goal was always to go 10-10 in conference. If you went 10-10 and had a couple, quality out of conference wins, like you were pretty safely in the tournament. So I remember last year, like I want to say in the first 10 games at Duke last year, we might've been like 6-4. And, around here and on social media, like the world was on fire. Like it was the worst start we'd had in like 20 years. Like coaches were pissed. Everybody was pissed. It was like a horrible vibe the way we started off the year. And that was like the best start of a year I had ever experienced. So that was a very surreal moment to experience like that level of winning and have it be, like I said, like our house was on fire last year in those first few games. So just the level of expectation is the other thing that's very apparent very quickly.
I'm glad you brought up your time in Northwestern because that's what I wanted to ask first. I know Marty likes to jump right into the now. He's a big now guy. Wants it now.
I'm not a big history guy.
I want to before we go more in depth with Duke, talk about like your relationship with Coach Collins because I personally think the world of that guy. I think he's one of my favorite guys I've been able to interact with, and just talk about your time in Northwestern because obviously that was a big reason why you ended up not in a bad way, but that was a big, pathway for you to end up at Duke.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, can't really speak highly enough of Coach Collins. He gave me the opportunity to go to Northwestern. I wasn't a highly recruited guy out of high school. I want to say I was like a 2 or 3 star kid. Actually, on our podcast at Duke and the Brother podcast, we did like a segment where I was the guest. Kyle Filipowski interviewed me, and we had a trivia question about what I was ranked coming out of high school. I thought I was like 150, and I was 345 as a senior in high school. So
I think I'm ranked that right now. I play in the pickup league.
It was a really good class, guys. It was star-studded. But anyway, just all that to say, like I really wasn't a highly recruited kid at high school. Coach Collins definitely took a chance on me, and I feel like I'm forever in debt to him for that. But overall, just like incredible experience. I love the school aspect of things. I love being near Chicago. Being a part of the program was incredible. I love being coached by Coach Collins. Obviously, we struggled while I was there in the wins and losses column, and getting to where we wanted to get as a group. But looking back on my experience, it's just pretty incredible. I will say, Jordan, were you on a team that I think you closed out my career at Northwestern?
Oh, no.
You were on a team that won you guys put 115 on our head, shattered every Big Ten record.
I think we had like 22 threes that game.
It was brutal. We went into halftime. You guys had maybe like 68 points at half. And all our team is saying is like, we're down like 30 at halftime. You guys had come out like you're making threes. Chris and Keegan are hitting threes. Like everybody, even the guys we have like labeled as like drivers are coming out shooting incredibly. And I remember at halftime, you guys have like 68 points, and all that's going through our heads is like, we can't let them put 100 on our head. That's got to be the goal. Like we might not walk out here with a win. Like we can't let them put 100, and then like, I don't know, you guys are like 95. Look up at the clock, and there's like 8 minutes left. Oh my God. And like the walk-ons came in and hit like 3 big threes. Like it was brutal. But that's what I figured when I was getting ready to come on here. I was like, I think Jordan was on that team that broke. You guys shattered every record, and then obviously you went on to run the table in the Big Ten, which was if anybody's going to put 114 points on you, that might as well be the team that wins the Big Ten tournament. That made us feel a little better. But no, obviously that was at the tail end of an incredible 4 years. Loved playing for Coach Collins, and then like you mentioned, like being able to come to Duke. He played a big role in that as well, which again, just another thing that I feel like I'm indebted to him for a long time.
I don't know if you know this, but did you know you were my favorite player last year?
I didn't know that.
Jordan, how much did I talk about Ryan Young? I would call you the sweaty bastard, all heart, like the best fundamentals. I was like, this guy is the heart and soul of this team. And guess what? You're a captain this year, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
How big of a that's insane. Like you're just talking about your 300th. You weren't even ranked. Let's be honest. You were never ranked. The rank shouldn't go to 300. But now you're a captain, and it's like, that's insane. You're number 2 team in the country. You're a captain. How much, like, you could tell also, it's still a young team. Like all the starters are mostly, it's you, and then it's like all sophomores and maybe a freshman. Like what's the impact that you have on them? Like, because you obviously have all the experience.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned how young of a team it is. I'm super excited to be a captain. I will say it's easy to be a leader as a 23-year-old in a team full of 18-year-olds. But it is something that I take a lot of pride in, and something that I realize is really important. As a young player, I redshirted my freshman year at Northwestern, and I just was not ready to play at that level. Whatever, I was 350, so I wasn't quite the caliber, especially as Jordan recalls in the Big Ten. Like, it's not a league to be an undersized big in. So I really struggled my first year as a redshirt against some older guys on the team, and I think back on the impact that they had on me. Like I came in, it was not an easy year to redshirt. It's weird coming out of high school and being, one of the best high school players in your area, and getting all these accolades and offers and all that, and then to be told, when you step on campus, you're not even good enough to help this team this whole year. It is something that is a mental block to get over. So I remember thinking back, there was a senior and a junior big on our team at the time that just played such a pivotal role in I think the trajectory of my life, the way that I changed my mindset as a basketball player, but off the court as well, trying to learn how to help positively affect the team. So looking back on that and how I've grown as a player and person, it's almost a way, being a captain this year and being an older player, it's a way of almost paying it forward. And I don't think that's too unique. I think a lot of people take a lot of pride in that, but that was a big conversation I had with Coach Shire about coming here. Being able to positively affect the team on the court and play as many minutes as I can and score and do all that. But on the alternative, help, mold and shape these young guys the way that I, was able to do when I was younger and had so much great senior leadership on the team. So it means a ton. I think back about last year and being able to see, Derek Lively now in this preseason game with the Mavericks, like he came in and he, hit a bit of a freshman wall like a lot of kids do, but it took him a little time to get going. And it was just incredible to be there for him. And, you know, he looked to me for questions, and we worked together a ton. So now he's, you know, catching lobs from Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. Like, it's insane to
That is crazy.
see that. And he's a great kid, and he works, you know, his ass off. So he deserves all the credit. But, you know, I was there every day just trying to help him get to that point. So to be able to see that is a big deal. It's not something I take for granted. So, like you mentioned, being a captain this year, again, just trying to help, you know, teach these young guys that are incredibly talented what it takes to be a successful athlete, but also just a person off the court. And I'm sure Jordan can attest to this as well. Like, it's, you know, we saw it last year. It's not always the best, most talented team in the country win the national championship. And I'd say probably more times than not, it doesn't happen. So, you know, we're only going to go as far as our group can be connected and be a team on and off the court. So that's something I'm going to focus on a ton this year, is making sure that, you know, we're not going to get just as far as talented as we are. We're going to be able to make that next push that's going to win us 6 games in March and April.
I think what I wanted to point out there, Marty, the audience needs to listen to, is how hard it is when you come into college basketball and just play. And you mentioned that it is one of the most humbling experience ever in the world to go from what you were doing in high school, being a big time recruit or being a big time Division I basketball player that's being recruited by Division I basketball programs, and coming in the first year. It's really hard to play that first year. And people think like, oh, I'm not playing, I'm going to transfer, I'm going to leave, I'm going to go here. The coach is awful, he's not playing me. All these thoughts come in your head. As you know, Ryan, I'm sure that you were thinking all those things like I was when I was trying to get to, you know, be a starter as a freshman. People just want that Marty Mush mentality, and they want it now. They want it now. They want it now.
100%.
But that I think that was like a big trajectory, obviously, to your career now, because not a lot of people can think like that and have that mental aspect of, hey, I need to, you know, work my butt off and listen to the people that are doing what they should be doing in front of me to be able to. I mean, now you're at Duke, you're, you know, living out a, you know, childhood dream of playing basketball at, you know, that university. So I think that's really special. But also, what I really wanted to ask you was, because you're 23 right now, you said.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're 23. I was the same way. I was 23 my last year. Just turned 24, and I had a bunch of 17, 18-year-olds that I was trying to lead. So talk about that to Marty, how not hard it is, but how to relate to those guys, because you know how that is. The young guys, they just want to go. They just want to, you know, not listen sometimes, not saying in a bad way, but they just have that mentality like, you know, it's just a new world out there being a part of a university like that.
Yeah, it's exhausting every year, because it's so hard to think back to your freshman year. And I know I made the same dumb mistakes, and I was the same, you know, naive 17-year-old coming to the college. But it's so funny to have a whole new batch of kids that you see, you know, go through the same stuff. But it's fun. It's different. It's humbling. I don't know, Jordan, if you remember being around. I just had maybe a month ago, Travis Scott dropped his new album. Was Travis Scott? Yeah. And one of our freshmen was like, the last time he dropped music, I was in middle school. And I remember Astroworld dropped in 2018. So I was a freshman at Northwestern. And when he said that, like, there's some instances like that really hit home hard. But overall, it's a ton of fun to be around that kind of youth. And it's just fun to help try and mentor and mold them into the players that they could be. Obviously, they do it at an unbelievably higher pace than what I was used to at Northwestern, just because they have that talent already. But you know, it's fun to be that guy and that older guy. I also get a crazy turn of it. So I'm the oldest guy in the basketball locker room by a significant margin. And then I'm in grad school getting my MBA at the business school here, which the average age is like 29. So I go right to the gym to class where like I'm mostly taking classes with married couples, like people that have had jobs for years and years. So it's funny to see that. I go from being, you know, getting called Grandpa and Uncle Ryan in the locker room to like being significantly younger and the only person in my class like not wearing a wedding ring. So I get the both crazy ends of it every day, which is unique. But overall, it's it's fun to be around these young guys. It's like it always is every year. Jordan, I'm sure you remember just being in a locker room with your 14 closest friends every day for hours is what makes the experience so special.
How do you feel? You have to be, because I would feel old with like Jared McCain, who has like 600,000 Instagram followers. He's got like millions of TikTok followers.
Marty,
This
you
is
can't call anyone old. You can't.
bro.
can't.
I'll still whoop both of you in basketball right now. I had a game last night. Did you guys play last night? I took a charge. I was
Who
over
takes
5
a
and
charge in an open
I
gym?
took a charge in a pickup in our men's league. Yes, but honestly, is it tough? Like that's a new. Like he's famous in like out of basketball. You go to Duke basketball, you become kind of famous no matter what. Like you're in the national spotlight all the time. But like he's also in like an NIL world, probably making money on that. Like college basketball has changed so much since you've even been a part of it because you started 4 years ago. You're not allowed to make money, and all of a sudden, 2 years. It's 2 years now. You can make all this money. Is it harder to? If I had money when I was 17 in college, I don't know if I would be playing baseball at college. You know, I don't know how my mind would be because you're not mature. But like you, that's why I think you're such an important part. Is it tough to deal with that?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's unique, and especially for somebody like Jared, you mentioned like he's I don't know what I would classify him as, but at the lowest, probably like a C-list celebrity. Maybe list like when we're out, like we took a team trip to Chicago and like we're walking down, like downtown Chicago, and like it's we're all wearing Duke stuff. We're all, super tall, so people recognize us. 80 or 90% of the time, everybody's walking by like, is Jared McCain here? Like, where's Jared? And like most like kids like don't care at all that it's the Duke basketball team. They just know that Jared is somewhere here. And we run camps here, and like we always have kids around, and kids run up to me and will ask for my autograph. But then right after, like, do you know where Jared is? Like, can I get his autograph? All right, man.
All right, I get it.
So it is different. It's unique. It's new. NIL in general, it's still definitely the wild, wild west out here. So it's a chaotic scene. But I think the biggest thing, like you mentioned, in terms of managing it and trying to keep it from being a problem is not letting it seep into the locker room and be, because it can cause issues. It's money. People obviously care, and a lot goes into it. And there's crazy dynamics of when you're thinking of, obviously Jared's a different factor because he's, all of his NIL stuff is, not all of it, but, so much of it comes from his fame outside of basketball. But when you talk about like collectives and things like that in general, it becomes difficult to keep that, away from the locker room, which our team has done an incredible job of thus far. And like you mentioned, as an older guy myself, I try and, manage that, even though it's weird and it's difficult and it's new. That's something that, you see every year, I'm sure, in football and basketball. You see it on Twitter all the time of guys transferring. Like it's big decisions, and it can cause a lot of friction in locker rooms. So
you gonna get in a dance with them or what?
I need to.
Yeah, you gotta get your cloud up, dude. Get it up.
It's funny when he's recording TikToks in the locker room, you can see like some guys are like, "Oh shit! Like this is it. Like I gotta get in here." Like walking by, quick peace sign. Just because it's funny, like how big he is. But yeah, absolutely. I would ask. I was in a conversation recently when I'm talking about like how NIL can cause that friction, just because it's such a big introduction of money, especially for young people with whatever, like tons of people in their ears. I had a conversation with a person recently about whether they thought the right path for NIL would be to make everything public, like as it would be in like the NFL. Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
Well, Jordan, you're the one that like really like went to bat for everybody, right?
Yeah. I mean, the thing I have a problem with that is because you don't really see that for, the coaches that have endorsement deals. You don't see that with the actual public that are doing third-party contracts business-wise for endorsements and sponsorship. So I think the more we can make it more like the free market, like how it is in the real world, the better. So, I mean, it's you guys are seeing, I mean, Ryan, you're probably seeing it. There's a mass amount of money coming into college athletes now, but that's still not enough money that they're worth. Like,
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
should be a salary based off their performance. They should be employees. I mean, I'll go to bed every single day trying to make that happen. I still do. I'm still working volunteer work with NCPA, Marty. So I'm still batting for you guys, even if I'm out of the spotlight.
Let me get on that board, huh? No. I mean, dude, I do agree with you. I do know what you mean, though, Ryan, because, like, you'll see, like, tweets about, like, it's different. Bronny James is completely different, but, like, he's, like, getting $5 million, people are saying. And, like, that's insane. That's, like, 17-year-old. And, like, I don't know if that's completely true, but I kind of like that. I don't know. And it's kind of crazy where it's like, let these people get millions of dollars. Like I said, you deserve it. Like, you are just amount of people that watch a Duke game on ESPN is worth a lot of money, you know? So, but I'm happy everyone's getting paid, especially. Quick question about Duke fans, because we're crazy, 100%.
No,
Did you have any idea who I was, by the way? Like, does anyone on the team know who I am?
Yeah, I think a lot of our guys watch. I mean,
Oh,
we're
thank
at
God.
Barstool,
That would
and
have been a big ego
you're
hit.
famously one of the only Duke Barstool guys. So
That's what I'm saying. I'm in here by myself going to bat for you guys all the time, and this is all I can't wait for this year. But I don't even know what I was going to ask. I was just all about me right there.
Duke fans in general, or
Oh yeah, Duke fans in general. Like you said, Northwestern. You go 10-10. It's like no one's really like. There's Northwestern fans. White Sox Dave, if you ever know him, he basically lives in a dumpster. But the Duke fans, you're getting tweets probably all the time. You have a bad game, you're getting social media, Instagram DMs, Twitter DMs, just tweeting at you. Was that a big difference as well? How much of a spotlight it is? And you got to tell me about the Cameron Crazies.
Yeah, no, it was definitely eye-opening, and I was kind of glad that I felt like I was a mature. I was 22 years old, so I was in a different spot. Like it's crazy for these 17 and 18-year-olds, and especially the guys like Derek comes in last year as the #1 recruit. Like, yeah, I get some hate on Twitter, but I can't imagine what he gets as compared to me. It's funny coming from Northwestern. There was two things I thought, for sure, with just the level of added publicity and fame that I thought were going to occur to me. One, I thought Duke fans would take an interest in me because, like you mentioned, I'm a dirty work guy, a tall, white, sweaty guy that has footwork like a flash to the past.
Words I would use, a sweaty bastard. Yeah.
I thought that was one thing for sure that would happen. And two, I thought opposing teams fans would hate me because I'm your stereotypical white Duke basketball player. Yep. Both of those things flipped pretty quickly. Like, I didn't get a ton of hate from other schools. And the hate that I did get, like you're mentioning, was mostly from, Duke people on Twitter that were frustrated that I was so, like, you're calling me traffic cone, slow, unathletic, all this. And I was like, that was shell shock. Because if you get a tweet, like, that's what you get when you have the best fans in the country. Like, if you're not performing, you're going to hear it from them. So, we had a bad start to the stretch, and countless tweets about, whatever, like how unathletic and slow I am. So those two things that I thought for sure going in. My point was those tweets are mostly coming from Duke fans. So those two things that coming in were completely flipped, which is too funny. But no, overall, that's, like I mentioned, that's what comes with having the craziest, best fans in the country. You get that, if you're not performing, if you're not playing up to the level that's expected, you're going to hear it, which, we wouldn't want any other way. And then, to comment on the Cameron Crazies, it's unbelievable. We went undefeated at home last year, and I'm glad that I get an added appreciation for it because I came from a school that wasn't really a huge sports school, relatively small school, especially for the Big Ten. But we struggled to get, students into the stands. I'm sure Jordan remembers, like, if you come to play at, our home games Northwestern against pretty much anybody in the Big Ten outside of Rutgers and Maryland, we were, if we played Iowa, there'd be much more Iowa fans at our home game than there were Northwestern. And if you guys are winning, they'd start the, Iowa chants in our stadium. Minutes ago, they'd start doing their chant, which is, it's hard to win that way. So to come to a place like this, come to Duke and see the Cameron Crazies like day in and day out, It's pretty unbelievable. And it's a huge reason we went undefeated at home last year. There's just a feeling playing in front of them that you just feel like we're going to win. Like we have the momentum. It's demoralizing for other teams. And I feel like I understand that because I had never really had it. We just struggled with attendance at Northwestern. So, it's a big deal.
I will paint myself. I need to come. I'm you know what? I'm going to try and come this year because it's a dream to go to that place. It's like if you're a college basketball fan, you have to see Cameron Indoor, and I will be that guy in the front painting my body going nuts, scream. I'll go like this at these people too. Whatever you need me to do, Ryan, I'll be there.
Yeah, we'll get your tickets. You say you've never been?
I've never been.
Oh shit! Yeah, it's got to be the year for you.
You know what's funny,
Yeah.
Ryan? So my oldest brother Jason played at Wisconsin, and they played at Duke, and I went with my family, and I got to experience that at a really young age, and it was insane, one of the most insane atmosphere I've ever been in. But that's when they had Shire was on the team, I believe. Greg Paulus, I believe, was on the team. Like guys that were just like that. I think Paulus ran the point guard position.
Yeah.
And he was just absurd. I think he had like 35 that game or something. And they were going nuts. People were like jumping up and down. I'm like 7 years old in the stands. I'm like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
Marty was probably in the stands. Like, honestly, he's probably way in the nosebleeds, painting out.
Yeah, I know.
Screaming out his lungs.
It seriously is such an advantage, dude. Like there's only a couple of places in college basketball where you're like, whoa, I don't really want to play there, We'll get you out of here soon. I have two more questions. One, you came in a year where it's like, okay, Coach K is gone. Coach K, and Duke they're the same thing, like he is Duke. A lot of expectations are coming in, is Shire going to take over well? How's he doing? I personally love Coach Shire. I think he's fantastic. Does he have is he like a jokester in the locker room, or does he put on a nice front and for the media? He seems like he's very professional. I can tell you that. But is he a little of a joker?
He's got a sense of humor. It's funny because he's still so young. I mean, he's just turned 35, so he's easily relatable. It feels like he was just playing not too long ago. But yeah, no, he's been incredible to play for. He's a huge reason why I came. So I love being coached by him, and yeah, he's super personal, and he's got that sense of humor for sure.
And last, I want to talk about your Brotherhood podcast. How is it? I could tell because we've interviewed some freshmen, sophomore, and sometimes it's not easy to talk on a podcast. People think it's easy, but I've been watching some of your guys, all your guys' shows. You're good. You're good at interviewing people. You seem curious. You're funny. And as an athlete, it is tough because you have to watch what you say. Anything on him. We have Hunter Dickinson on the show. He said one thing last year. It would be on ESPN the next day.
Well,
I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, Hunter. I don't even know how that happened. We were just talking, you have to
Ryan, when you say you're gonna beat Arizona State and you lose by 30 the next night, you're gonna be on ESPN.
Yeah, it wasn't good. And also, maybe tell us you're gonna wear a ski mask.
That's an interesting point, though. One of the things that we're talking about right now, and I feel pretty fortunate to be able to work with the creative team here at Duke because they're unbelievable. They're the top of they're just top tier at what they do. But we're having a lot of conversations about how this podcast changes going into the season. A lot of it is what you're talking about, what happens when you go through a tough stretch, you lose, and you might lose a game in an embarrassing fashion. The biggest thing I think is keeping up with that. If we're in it now, we're in it, and I think our fans and the listeners appreciate the authenticity of it. That's what it's been built on is being real and trying to show a truthful inside look into the program. But that's something that is definitely a little nerve wracking. What happens? You're putting yourself. It's very risky. You're putting yourself in a susceptible position to be made a mockery of on Twitter and whatnot. If you say something and then it comes back to bite you. But it goes back to what we were saying on social media. Like you got to roll with the punches. It's a part of it. And that's what comes
It's like
with
4 people with like 10 different accounts yelling at you. That's if you want any hate classes, I've been through it all. So if you ever need any advice, and also Hunter as well, because they didn't have a great season last year. But you're right, like especially Duke, it's like this would never happen. But say you get blown out by UNC, right? One of the biggest games. So again, would never happen. But you get blown out and then you like don't do the podcast the next day. People,
Yeah.
it's like people, you want to be real and show, listen, we suck today, or how you are. Like, I think it's so cool that active players are doing podcasts now, because you get to see how the reactions, all your emotions are after, just the way you handle yourself gives people more respect to you as well. Like, it's not easy. You can hide for a week after you lose, but if you're on a podcast the next day being like, you got to face the music, it takes a lot of balls to do that, you know, like it takes a lot to do. And like, this is the first time that you're doing it with an active season, right?
Yeah. So it'll definitely be a bit of a test run. Hopefully we don't run into many obstacles, but yeah, like you're saying, it's you want to try to find the right balance, because it can be stressful, and also still being in college is different than maybe having like an NBA podcast like Draymond Green. Every day it's super cool to see it, but it's certainly a different dynamic when you're still a college athlete. But we're excited to see where it takes us. It's been fun. I'm I appreciate the compliments, but it is really different for me. I admittedly am not a huge podcast guy. I don't listen to a ton. So like when I first started recording, it was pretty much just let's see how this goes. Let's wing it.
Yeah.
I don't really have any experience in either. I'm kind of frustrated with myself. I was an economics undergrad at Northwestern, but it's obviously a huge media school, and they have a huge journalism school. And now I'm kind of punching myself for not taking any journalism classes at all. As you know, I might try and see what this does for me in the future. And it's just been fun to be in like the media and all that.
Well, there's
Let me
no
tell you
better
something, Ryan.
experience. There's no better experience than
I was
actually
a
just doing
public
it.
relations major
We
at
know.
Mount St. Mary College. It obviously helps, but dude, you just being yourself. People like when you're real and yourself, and you share your experiences and are funny. Just literally never shying away from who you are as yourself. Like, people like to be relatable to somebody else in a position like yourself. You are doing something that 1%, less than 1% people are ever going to do in their life. So it's like they love hearing that. So that's why it's such a cool opportunity. And I can keep talking in this podcast for an hour if you have, like, you know what I mean, Jordan? Like, we've had interviews where it's like, all right, we got nothing left, but you can tell you're asking us questions, and then you're on the right track.
There we go.
Well, I think the other
thing.
thing too is just like how, I mean, you're seeing it now that you're in your last year of college basketball, how time really goes by so fast. But you realize like the whole, like what it encapsulates you as an athlete when you're going through the process. A lot of people just see you as a basketball player. A lot of people just see you as this kind of object, not in a technically bad way, but I mean, Marty sees it too at Barstool. And I went through my share at Iowa. People just see you for what you look like on TV and what they make you out to be. But that was a great thing. I did a podcast too when I was going through Iowa that people opened up to what I was like personally. So I think, whether it was coming off a loss or a win, how awesome that is to just share your experiences. And the most thing too is you can look back on that, man. You're gonna be like, wow, like for me to put all my thoughts off, like even after a loss, that was pretty special for me to be able to do. And the fans, I think, are going to really appreciate that too as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to keep it going. Yeah, I'm sure you remember it as well. And just as a 6th year, I'm starting to get that feeling in my final year, just that I know I'm gonna miss it. And all these guys come back, and there's so many Duke guys, whether they're playing overseas, whether they've transferred into the business world or gotten real jobs, or like we have a ton of NBA guys come back, and they all say the same thing, that they miss the locker room, they miss the feeling of being a college student athlete. Just because when it's over, whether or not you go to the NBA or play anywhere else. It becomes a job, and your teammates are your coworkers now. We had Tatum come back and say that. So look at you can imagine just how successful he's been. He came back, and his message to us was like, live it up, enjoy this time, because you're never going to get it back, and it's never going to be the same. So yeah, like you mentioned, it's I'm getting a little bit of that feeling going into my final year here.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for coming on again. Anything Duke is a dream. I'm going to make sure I come this year. I'm going to come to a game. I will. You'll see me, and you better say hi to me. And I'm going to the December game at MSG. If you don't say hi to me, I don't think we could ever talk again. All right.
I'll say hi to you. I won't say hi to you in Cameron if your body's not painted blue.
Okay, that's a deal. You know what? I'm gonna try and talk to some of the Cameron crazies, see if they'll let me, because I feel like that's an exclusive club. I feel like they get there like weeks before to get those and I'll ask them for their permission first.
No, we'll get you in there. It'll be great.
I appreciate you. Oh wait, last quick, Emil Jefferson, is he the best?
Yeah, unbelievable guy. We were sad to lose him this year.
I know. I love that guy.
Tough to see him go, but you can only hold on to guys at that level for as long as you can. He's going to be. I have a feeling that he's going to climb the ranks very, very quickly. Super high level, and he could still play. He would go at us in practice and play ones after. If he wanted to, he could still be making a good amount of money wherever he would like to play. But an incredible year last year. I only got to spend 1 year with him, but excited to see where he goes from here, because he's one of those guys.
Did you have your crazy the what's that night you guys have?
Tomorrow night.
You got like a dance ready to go for everybody? Like that's scary.
Dude, I'll tell you, it's some guys get excited for it. For me, it's the worst day of the year. I'd rather lose by 20 than go through what I'm gonna have to go through tomorrow night. It's just like, it's not my it's some guys' things, which is great, but to dance in front of 8,000.
It's not. Pull the Grayson Allen. Just go. Yeah, that's it.
I got
stay simple.
You got to play a famous sing along. I might go with a Taylor Swift song or something, but
yeah, that's easy.
Something out that the crowd will just like and won't really realize that I'm not really doing anything at all.
Yeah, Hunter just did his one of the worst dances of all time, and he embarrassed himself. So just stay. Hey guys.
I didn't think it was that bad.
He was doing like the Dougie and
I mean, it's like better than a lot of people. It's better than a lot of people.
Yeah. I guess it's just a little awkward when you're 7'2".
It's part of it. It's definitely a part of it. It's awkward, and I'm not looking forward to it. But in the same way, what we talked about with the Cameron crazies, like, it's going to be ridiculous to see, 6,000 of them smushed into a small area, just that excited for the season. So it's another instance of realizing how special it is to have their support.
Yeah. Again, thank you, Ryan, for your time. I know we went 40 minutes, but I could listen. It was fantastic. Good luck this season. I'll be talking to you. I'll be seeing you. I'm gonna paint myself. I'm gonna have to start working out a little more for that, so I don't look disgusting on TV, because people will be taking screenshots. But yeah, I'll be there.
All right, awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys.
Good luck, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.